Superman 3 is a 1983 superhero film directed by Richard Lester from a screenplay by David Newman and Leslie Newman based on the DC Comics character Superman. It is the third installment in the Superman film series and the sequel to Superman 2. Welcome back to DC Movie Rewind, where we look back at every live-action DC movie. Today we are discussing Superman 3. Richard Donner confirmed that he had been interested in writing at least two more Superman films, which he intended Tom Mankiewicz to direct, and use Brainiac as the villain of the third film. Donner departed the series during the production of Superman 2. The film was announced at the 33rd Cannes Film Festival in May 1980. In December 1980, producer Ilya Salkind wrote a treatment for this film that included Brainiac, Mr. Mxyzptlk, and Supergirl. The treatment was released online in 2007. The Mr. Mxyzptlk portrayed in the outline varies from his comic counterpart, as he uses his abilities to cause chaos. Dudley Moore was the first choice to play the role. In the treatment, Brainiac was from Kolu and had discovered Supergirl in the same way that Superman was found by the Kents. Brainiac is portrayed as a surrogate father to Supergirl and eventually fell in love with his daughter, who did not reciprocate his feelings, as she had fallen in love with Superman. Brainiac retaliates by using a personality machine to corrupt and manipulate Superman. The climax of the film would have seen Superman, Supergirl, Jimmy Olsen, Lana Lang, and Brainiac time travel to the Middle Ages for a final battle against Brainiac. After defeating him and leaving Brainiac behind, Superman and Supergirl would have married at the end of Superman 3 or in Superman 4, even though the two are cousins in the comics. The treatment was rejected as being too complex and expensive to shoot. Because of the high budgets required for the series, the Salkinds considered selling the rights to the series to Dino De Laurentiis. The significance of computers, the corruption of Superman, and the splitting of Superman into good and evil would be used in the final film. The film was originally intended to be titled Superman vs. Superman, but was retitled after the producers of Kramer vs. Kramer threatened a lawsuit. Warner Bros. Rejected the outline for Superman 3 Supergirl and made their own Superman 3 film, while Supergirl later appeared in her own film, portrayed by Helen Slater. Both Gene Hackman and Margot Kidder are said to have been angry with the way the Salkinds treated Superman director Richard Donner, with Hackman retaliating by refusing to reprise the role of Lex Luthor. After Margot Kidder publicly criticized the Salkinds for their treatment of Donner, the producers reportedly punished Kidder by reducing her role in Superman 3 to a brief appearance. Hackman later denied such claims, stating that he had been busy with other movies and that making Luthor a constant villain would be similar to horror movie sequels where a serial killer keeps coming back. Hackman would reprise his role as Lex Luthor in Superman 4, which the Salkinds had no involvement in. In the commentary for the 2006 DVD release of Superman 3, Ilya Salkind denied any negative feelings between Margot Kidder and his production team and denied the claim that her part was cut for retaliation. Instead, he said the creative team decided to pursue a different direction for a love interest for Superman, believing the Lois and Clark relationship had been overdone in the first two films. With the choice to give a more prominent role to Lana Lang, the role of Lois was reduced for story reasons. Salkind also denied the reports about Hackman being upset with him, stating that he was unable to return because of other film commitments. Though Christopher Reeve had been contracted for 7 films as Superman, he engaged a lawyer to renegotiate his contract prior to production. Producer Pierre Spengler described the process of securing Reeves' return as contentious, though Ilya Salkind recalls that Reeve approved of the Superman 3 script and was more than willing to reprise his role. After an appearance by Richard Pryor on The Tonight Show, telling Johnny Carson how much he enjoyed seeing Superman in Superman 2, and Pryor jokingly stated his desire to appear in a future Superman installment, the Salkinds were eager to cast him in a prominent role in the third film, using the success of Pryor in the films Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, and The Toy. Pryor accepted a $5 million salary. Following the release of the film, Pryor signed a 5-year contract with Columbia Pictures for $40 million. Now, let's talk about the production. The movie was produced by Dove Mead Ltd. And distributed by Warner Bros. It was directed by Richard Lester, who directed some of the previous film. The movie was written by David and Leslie Newman. The movie was also produced by Pierre Spengler again. Principal photography began on June 21, 1982. Most of the interior scenes were shot at Pinewood Studios outside London. The junkyard scene was filmed on the backlot of Pinewood. The coal mine scene was filmed at Battersea Power Station. Most exteriors were filmed in Calgary because of tax breaks for film companies. Superman's drinking was filmed at the St. Louis Hotel in downtown East Village, Calgary, while other scenes, such as the slapstick comedy opening, were shot several blocks to the west. While the supercomputer set was created on the 007 stage, exteriors were shot at Glen Canyon in Utah. The film first premiered at the Uptown Theater in Washington, D.C. on June 12, 1983, as well as at the Cinema One in New York on June 14th. The film was widely released to theaters on June 17, 1983. It stars Christopher Reeve, Richard Pryor, Jackie Cooper, Marc McClure, Annette O'Toole, Annie Ross, Pamela Stephenson, Robert Vaughn, Margot Kidder, and Gavin O'Hillery. Aaron Smolinski, who played young Clark Kent in Superman, appears as the boy next to the phone booth that Clark uses to change into Superman. It had a budget of $39 million and made $80.2 million in the box office. It currently has a 31% critic score and a 23% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, a 5 out of 10 on IMDb, and a 44 Metacritic score. The film was the 12th highest-grossing film of 1983 in North America. The film proved less successful than its predecessors, both critically and financially. Like the previous films, a separate extended edition was produced and aired on ABC. The opening credits were in outer space, featuring an edited version of the film's end credit theme music, serving as an opening theme. This is followed by a number of scenes, including additional dialogue not added in any of the official VHS, DVD, or Blu-ray cuts of the film. The deluxe edition of Superman 3, released in 2006 along with the DVD release of Superman Returns, included these scenes in the extra features section as deleted scenes. 20 years after playing Lana Lang in Superman 3, Annette O'Toole went on to play Martha Kent on the television series Smallville. Superman 3 got a sequel 4 years later in 1987, titled Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. With that being said, thanks for watching. Next time we'll be talking about the spin-off of the Superman film series, Supergirl from 1984. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to see more, consider giving a like or rating and subscribing with notifications so you never miss an episode. It's free. Also feel free to check out our other episodes and share this podcast with others on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time on Movie Rewind.